Hey everybody, just a quick project update. I finally put some paint onto this GS-1 lookalike replica using a Kato S2 model. This was all done and built by John Weber, and he put a lot of brass details onto the shell. You know, now with paint on it, you really can't appreciate just how much work he put into it. But I did kind of commit some sacrilege and decided to change from a early GS1 with a 160C cylindrical tender to a later style reshopped rectangular tender that I've been working on. But part of the updates is, you know, I've been working on some of the additional updates. And you can kind of see here, you know, this is a brass clamshell casting that a friend of mine, George came up with, as well as other details like these MU lines, a steam turret, bell, dynamo, even a road pilot. So these are all kind of going on to this GS1 late model. So a lot of more work to do on the engine side, but in the meantime, I do want to show you kind of some cool stuff that I have been working on. So this was the original 160C tender, but I got my hands on a 3D print. This is a GS-3 tender from Track 29. A friend of mine, Robert, and you know, he wanted me to do some stuff, and this is actually a pretty close match to the tender that's on the later GS1s. Unfortunately, you know, you can maybe see some of these print marks, and just for the caliber of the locomotive model, I couldn't sand these out without kind of ruining the existing rivet details, which are a little large in my opinion, but it's kind of like an all or nothing thing. So I kind of went overboard and went tender crazy. And so this is a redone GS3 tender from Track 29. These are intermountain hatches on top, Kato oil bunker hatch, and then I even got a little crazy and did the dipstick like that. Did the brass piping, and you know, not perfect, but rivet details from Archer decals, Gold Coast models, and just kind of went crazy with 0.2 and 0.3 millimeter brass wire, and did some, you know, additional details onto it, just to try to go with the you know, the caliber of the model that John had built, started off with. So in my opinion, these rivets are, you know, underneath the primer coat and everything, really blend into the model more like a scale, like a Kato, if you just compare different manufacturers and all that, or even the brass. But yeah, this is finally about it. I wanted to show it so you could see potentially all the brass that's on it, or the brass piping went a little crazy, and it's not exactly perfect, but I think this has got to be close enough for me. And got to fix some of these saddle strap, these saddle ladders and stuff, and put some paint on it, and probably ready to start working on the main model. This tender shell is actually designed to go onto a Kato GS4 tender base, so I got to figure out how to make the drawbar work between an old Kato and a new Kato, and make it so that it picks up, but there's plenty of space for sound to keep alive. And so this will be a pretty cool runner, and the shell on this thing is so super heavy, so it should be a very strong puller as well. So that's a quickie update, and then hopefully I'm off to further other Steam Madness projects in the future. And this 160 tender will probably go on to a F5 210-2 decapod project in the future.